All right, let's tackle one of the biggest mysteries out there, consciousness itself. We're going to look at a fascinating new theory that might just crack the code, exploring how our very awareness could be this beautiful self-reflecting loop happening inside our own minds.
This right here is the question at the heart of it all. See, it's not just about seeing something, it's about the feeling of seeing it. And the theory we're digging into connects this huge, abstract mystery to something we can all do right now, just breathing. You know that private movie that's always playing in your head? That's your reality. It's the taste of your morning coffee, the warmth of the sun. It's what it feels like to be you. But science has always had a hard time explaining why it feels like anything at all. How does a bunch of electrical signals in your brain become a rich, vivid experience?
To even get close to an answer, we have to kind of update our idea of what the brain is doing. It's not just a passive sponge sitting back and soaking up information. Nope, it's an active, relentless prediction machine, constantly guessing what's about to happen next based on a lifetime of experience.
So how does this whole prediction thing actually work? Let's break it down into 3 key ingredients. Think of this as the basic toolkit your brain uses to build your entire world from the inside out. Every single moment, your brain is forecasting the future. It's predicting the sound of my voice, the feel of the chair you're in, the light from your screen. And these aren't just wild guesses, they're super sophisticated calculations about what's causing all the signals hitting your senses. But what happens when the brain's prediction is wrong? Well, that's something called prediction error. You know that jolt you feel when you think there's one more step on the stairs, but there isn't? Your brain predicted solid ground, and it got air. That whoa feeling? That's a massive spike of prediction error, and it forces your brain to update its map of reality fast.
Now here's the really crucial part. Your brain doesn't treat all information equally. It's constantly judging how reliable or precise its predictions are. You can think of it like a volume dial. It turns the volume way up on signals it trusts and turns it way down on stuff it thinks is just noise. That's exactly how you can focus on one person's voice in a super loud, crowded room. So, things get really interesting when we take this whole predictive process and apply it to the process itself. This is where we get to the core of the theory. A loop where the brain isn't just modeling the world, it's actually modeling its own modeling. It's watching itself work. So the idea is there are 2 levels working at once. On one level, your brain is building its model of the world. People, places, objects. But running on top of that is what you could call a hypermodel. And its only job is to act like a quality control check, constantly asking, hey, how good is our main model of the world right now? How much should we trust it? That creates this amazing self-referential loop. And this, right here, is the potential answer to that first big question. This constant self-checking process is what the theory calls epistemic depth. It's not just having a model of reality, it's having a model that knows how good its own model is. And that feeling of depth, that self-awareness, might just be what consciousness is. It's the feeling of knowing that you know. Okay, so this all sounds pretty high level and abstract, right? But what's so cool is that we can actually feel the system at work. This theory gives us a powerful computational reason for why one of the oldest human practices for finding calm actually works, focusing on your breath. I mean, we've all been told to just breathe when we're stressed out. And you know what? It works. But why? Well, if you look at it from the brain's point of view, from this predictive coding perspective, the answer is actually incredibly simple. It all comes down to prediction error. Just think about it. Our normal stream of thoughts is messy, chaotic, and totally unpredictable. It's full of random thoughts and sensory noise, which means the brain is constantly dealing with prediction errors. But the feeling of your breath? It's maybe the most predictable signal your brain has. In, out, in, out. It's a steady signal with almost zero error. So when you focus on it, you're telling your brain, hey, turn the volume dial way up on this super clean, simple signal. And by doing that, you let it tune out all the other noise, which dramatically reduces its total workload. And what does that feel like? Well, it feels like peace. And what's truly amazing is how perfectly this brand new computational theory lines up with descriptions of deep meditation from thousands of years ago. Ancient texts describe the state as an unsullied bliss, a feeling of pure, undisturbed awareness that comes from deep concentration. It sounds a lot like a brain with very little prediction error to worry about. Scientists today actually have a name for this state of super low prediction error.
They call it a minimal phenomenal experience, or MPE. And it feels both incredibly clear and aware, but also really simple and empty of all the usual mental chatter. You're vividly aware of yourself, but without all the noise. It's like consciousness stripped all the way down to its peaceful essential core. But here's the thing. This framework doesn't just explain meditation. What's so powerful about this beautiful loop idea is that it gives us a whole new map for understanding a huge range of different states of consciousness, from dreaming all the way to psychedelic experiences. Let's take dreaming, for instance. When you're dreaming, your brain is creating a super rich and complex model of reality, right? But that epistemic depth is turned way down. The quality control part of your brain is pretty much offline. And that's exactly why we usually don't know that we're dreaming. We're missing that crucial feeling of knowing that we know. We can also use this map to see the difference between other altered states. So with psychedelics, the brain seems to dramatically relax its strongest beliefs, its predictions about how the world is supposed to be. That opens the floodgates for new and creative insights. Deep meditation, on the other hand, is a bit different. The goal isn't to relax all your brain's beliefs, but to specifically quiet the ones about yourself. And when you do that, the sense of being a separate you can dissolve, leading to that feeling of peace and unity. So what this all really points to is something pretty profound. If our experience of reality is built on this predictive loop, a loop that we can actually influence just by where we place our attention, well, what does that mean for us? It suggests that we have way more power over our own inner world than we probably think. By learning how to guide our brain's predictions, we might just be able to fundamentally change the very texture of our reality.